Guys, deluded, you choosing Golo Kante. I'm back again. What was I going to talk about? Body language in football. And I mean, this is off the back of Tony Kroos. Goddamn, he's talking a lot. If he just shut his mouth and let his world class feet do the talking, he'd be a lot more likable. But yeah, attitudes or body language in regards to football. It doesn't matter if you're. I'll give the examples again, but it doesn't matter if off the top of my head, Paul Pogba, Mesut Ozil, probably the best example. Ericsson to a degree, probably not under Poch, but you could say him. Sane, the man in question by Tony Kroos. Who else is there? Dele Alli once got it once upon a time. I've even seen people say about Sterling and Rashford, which I'm not too sure if that holds weight. But either way, there's a lot of players in it. Even Lukaku to a degree, people say he at times, and it has been said, he walks around, he looks unaware, and then they've transpired into he needs to do more, etc., and link that to unintelligence. This whole body language thing, and it's something that was actually said in my grassroots days as a wannabe footballer. That was said to me. Now again, I do think there's a lot of, and I don't, you guys probably don't, I'm getting that, but there's a lot of, when it's a certain individual, a certain group of people, it seems to only be attributed or constantly used with that. I mean, if it's not questioning their professionalism via the fact where despite training every day, scoring goals and putting in consistent performances, buying nice trainers or cars means they don't really care about their football, or they care about social media too much, or if they're not doing one, they're doing another. But body language, in my playing days, there's a valid argument for it, because I was told quite rightly. So at times, DG, it might come across that you don't care. So at times, look a bit more body positive. I've heard that actually said to managers. That's a fair comment, but when people attribute it to not caring, to this and that, it really annoys me. People say it with Martial, especially. You go and look at last season or whenever, when United have lost the game and Martial's on there. I'm not saying a man scapegoated, but because he's never smiling and things like that, something I can't do. People say he doesn't care and he's a spoilt brat and this and that. People have said Pogba walks around the pitch. Mesut Ozil, if I spoke solely about his body language or how he presents his body on the pitch, will be here all day. So I don't really like it, man. People attribute your body language to having an attitude problem. It really annoys me. I mean, if I just look at some of these players that are of a certain type, you pretty sure you know what I'm getting at. In Martial, Lukaku, Pogba, Sterling, Dele, and Sane, we tend to, as people, they tend to be collectively more chilled back. They're not mate, flying into tackles and that. They're calm. Like it really annoys me, because when it's certain others and they're doing that walking on the pitch or whatever odd stuff, it's poetry in motion, it's language movement, it's conserving energy, it's intelligence, it's all of these things. The body language thing really annoys me. This obsession with if it's not that, it's linking the body language to having a bad attitude. If it's not that, it's linking these certain players from a certain walk of life to having a chip on their shoulder and things like that. Some of this might be true. I actually think Sane's body language, I wouldn't necessarily put it to body language, but he just has one emotion on his face, in that win, lose or draw, that's what Sane looks like. But that's who he is as a person. Like, for me, body language, obviously, I'm not excusing poor body language. At times, man look like they don't care in it, but if Sane's scoring goals and all of these things, like, when was this body language thing spoke of last year? It wasn't. The minute he's out of form towards the back end of last season and he didn't go to the World Cup, and Pep dropped him out the side for Pep's valid reasons, I trust him, away from this, but body language, this, that and the third, it's a tired argument, because there's times where this is legitly an argument and there's times when it's just one blanket. It's annoying. It really is annoying. It really is jarring, man. And I can't be asked to speak on this anymore. It really annoys me. Between this and players that played football in the 80s, where they were drinking all the time, questioning professionalism of other players because they put stuff on Instagram and Twitter and other social media, does my head in, man. But for now, guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe and do the rest if you wish. I'm out.